Hi, this is Jimmy the Font Meister, and I'd like to explain some things about problems with leading, or the space between sentences. If you look here at this font, there really is no leading. This is all, if you look here at this font, there's very tight leading. The ascender is right at the top of the character, and down here we find that the descender is going to be the amount of leading between sentences. Now, the problem comes in two ways. First of all, Microsoft Windows has a feature called TTF collision, which tries to prevent sentences from touching each other. So that's built into the Windows operating system, and it's going to try to prevent fonts with tight leading from touching each other. So we have to know how to override that if we want tight leading. The second problem comes in when something seems to be going wrong with the leading. Let me give you an example. Now here's a question we get asked all the time. Let's say that this character on the right here was copied and pasted or imported into this font. Some customers will contact us and say, I had tight leading. As you noticed before, the letter A was, the ascender was directly on top of the character. And now I brought some new characters into this font, and now the leading has changed. Well, that's because sometimes when you bring a character in from another font which has a different ascender, it will bring that font's metrics in to this new font when you import it or paste it. So let's take a look at what you can do about that. You go to the element menu, font info, and dimensions, and you'll see typically that you have your M square, and you also have an ascender value here. Now what you can do is reset and override whatever leading is in the font, and that goes for whether the Windows operating system has changed the leading or whether the importing of a character has done it. You can override any kind of leading by manually coming in here and changing it. So let's click OK and go back there and look at that. So let's click OK and go back and look at what's happened here. You see that the ascender is back where it was, but the imported or pasted character is outside the ascender. So of course you can adjust the character. So of course you can adjust the character. So there's a lot of ways to skin a cat, but the main thing to remember is to manually set the leading here by overriding whatever your problem you're experiencing. And you might also want to experiment with this setting here to retain the path coordinates when changing the UPM size. UPM stands for units per M, as in M square, and it represents the total of the ascender and the descender added together to create the total size of the M square. So here are some suggestions for you when you have a leading problem with the font. Usually it's easy to just override it by coming in here and manually setting the ascender. So thank you for watching the Fontographer tutorial series. Be sure to check your manual for more details, and there's also some good tech notes on various kind of leading problems in the Fontographer tech notes. And let us know if there's some other topics you'd like to see covered in the series.